All right, everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on something pretty unnerving. We've got a collection of first-hand accounts, some really chilling personal stories, and maybe strangest of all, what look like leaked classified documents. And these aren't just, ghost stories. They feel like dispatches from moments where the world we know just kind of frays at the edges, reveals something else, something unseen, and frankly, horrifying.
Exactly. What we're looking at here, it isn't just unusual, it's like a direct window into events that just, they defy logic. They defy normal understanding. These are raw reports from people who've basically stared into that abyss.
Right. And our job today, our mission, is to unpack these stories. We're going to look for patterns, try to get a handle on the unknown, maybe pull out some surprising insights from all this terror and strangeness. Okay, let's unpack this. So our journey starts in a small Arkansas town. Seems pretty unsuspecting, right?
Right.
But it experienced this terrifying spiral into chaos. It all kicked off with a guy named Ed Harland. He walks out of the woods, alone, looking rough, just whispering one thing over and over. The woods took him. Naturally, everyone thought he'd maybe murdered his hunting buddies. But the sheriff put together a search party. They came back with nothing. And they were visibly shaken up, saying they'd seen something out there.
Yeah, seen something. Not found something, but seen something. That's a key difference.
Good point. And the weirdness just ramped up from there. Didn't stop. Next morning, Bill Howard finds his hogs. All of them. Slaughtered, heads torn off, stacked in this pile almost, twice Bill's height?
Unbelievable.
And here's the kicker, the really bizarre part. No flesh missing. No bite marks like you'd expect from a predator. Nothing.
Yeah.
And hogs scream. Right. But nobody heard a sound. It was like some silent, awful ritual.
This isn't just brutal. It's meticulous, silent. That's what's so unsettling. It jumps immediately from maybe a human crime to something else, something that doesn't follow predator rules. It hints at this deliberate, ritualistic malice.
Malice, yeah.
It's the first real sign that the normal rules were just breaking down there.
And it didn't stop there, did it? The church.
Right, Pastor Mike's church. The cross was wrapped in dried roots, all tangled up, and the face on the crucifix chipped away, replaced with this lump of clay.
Clay.
Yeah, clay with these strange eldritch symbols carved in it, and little bones mixed in. I mean, this wasn't just kids messing around. It felt symbolic, like an attack on the town's spirit.
So you think it was targeted? Psychological?
Well, look at the pattern. Defiling something sacred, the weirdness with the hogs, suggests something with power, yeah, but also purpose, a really grim purpose.
And then the animals started acting strangely.
A neighbor's dog, a Labrador, just started twitching violently, making noises. The report says noises no dog should ever make.
Yeah.
Then it attacked.
Oh, man.
And when they had to put it down, when they shot it, its insides just looked all wrong. The word used was sick.
This is how, diseased.
Or
changed.
Looked all wrong. That's all it says. It implies this physical corruption, something beyond just sickness.
Yeah.
And after that, the town just fell quiet. Dead quiet.
No birds.
No bird song, no crickets, nothing. It really echoes that old saying, animals are first to feel it. Nature itself was just recoiling.
Understandably, people started leaving. A mass exodus. Fear just took over.
Yeah.
The sheriff got cagey about other families who'd already vanished. Phones disconnected. Total silence. And then this sound started.
Ah, the sound.
Yeah, low, scratchy whining, like a ragged old bow being dragged across rusty, tuneless strings, just droning from the woods. Sounds absolutely nightmarish.
And that droning, looking back, it was like the prelude, the warning. Because then came this awful red glow from the woods, shuffling sounds, something pounding on the narrator's door.
And the Mattel family.
Yeah, they found them. The report says eaten, milky white eyes, frozen, huddled around their toddler's body. This is clearly not just a bear or wolves. It's something else entirely, something that changes its victims.
So the remaining townsfolk, terrified, they get together a convoy, try to escape. But the forest itself seems to fight back. The roads are torn up by these huge mammoth trees and thick twisting roots. And then they find the cars, empty cars belonging to the families who tried to leave earlier.
A bad sign.
A terrible sign. And then the attack, these ashen bodies with horns surging out of the trees. But wait, here's the twist. The report says these figures, they weren't monsters.
Well, not in the way you might think. The horns were actually primitive woven headdresses, and the claws, just sharpened sticks.
So, it was the people, the ones who tried to leave before.
It seems so. This wasn't shape-shifting. It was a corruption,
Yeah.
a terrifying regression to something primal. Whatever was in those woods, it didn't just kill, it twisted, it subverted, turned neighbors into this feral nightmare.
God. So the survivors fall back, barricade themselves in the sheriff's office.
Uh-huh.
Then the power goes out, of course. And the 4 hunters who went missing right at the start, they reappear, but they're different. Changed somehow.
Changed, yeah. Malevolent.
And inside the office, it gets worse. This huge black-legged tick crawls out of a hole in the floor.
A tick, like oversized.
Grotesquely huge, yeah. And then something crashes through the roof. This huge bipedal beast with grotesque avian features. Bird-like, but wrong.
So now we're seeing the biological side. It wasn't just psychological or transformed people. There were these entities involved too. The tick from below, the beast from above. It suggests this pervasive, inescapable infestation, something that just breaks biology.
And it all ends with Ed Harland, the first guy. They let him out of jail. He grabs a shotgun, goes to the tree line, starts blasting Hank Williams, setting the woods on fire.
Literally.
Drenches the trees in gasoline, sets it ablaze, takes himself and those 4 changed hunters with him. The report says the woods themselves screamed. Just screamed.
Wow.
So what was that? A localized nightmare, or like you said, maybe part of something bigger. Because the Arkansas story, as horrifying as it is, feels self-contained, a town just consumed. But what if these things aren't isolated? Our next set of documents, they suggest these nightmares are real, and worse, they're being managed by secret organizations. We're looking at classified reports now, clandestine units, and you might notice some names cropping up again. This first one is a letter apparently seized from an operative codenamed Horace, real name Jake. He writes about his time in this secret unit, referred to in the documents as the Foundation.
The Foundation.
Yeah, their whole job seems to be dealing with exactly these kinds of anomalies. And Horace, or Jake, he says immediately he regrets volunteering. Deeply regrets it.
And you can see why. Their missions.
Yeah.
They're chillingly cold. Calculated. This one sounds like a standard counter-IED op, right?
Yeah.
Working with FBI, CIRG agents in some remote cabin.
CRG.
Critical Incident Response Group. FBI counterterrorism.
Gotcha.
But the whole setup, it was a trap designed specifically to expose these FBI agents to something called Thanatos-01. That's the Foundation's designation. It's also cross-references SCP-4271-195 in these files.
SCP. Like the online fiction.
The designation style is similar, yeah. It suggests this internal cataloging system for things they secure, contain, and protect, which seems to be their motto.
Secure, contain, protect. Okay, so what did Thanatos-01 do?
The infection sequence is just horrific. Starts subtle, twitching, then they start speaking gibberish, stuff nobody can understand, eyes filled with blood, and the final stage, organic limbs of an octopus or squid start crawling out of the victim's mouth.
Oh my.
At which point, Horace's team is ordered to eliminate them.
Eliminate the infected FBI agent.
Yes, it's brutal. And it really shows the kind of ethical lines these operators are forced to cross.
And Horace paid the price for questioning it, didn't he? He hesitated, couldn't bring himself to just murder an infected agent. And the response, swift termination, his own.
Just like that.
Yeah. They planted fake mental health records to cover it up. His commander apparently told him swiftness of obedience is crucial. There is no going back now.
It paints a picture of an organization that demands absolute instant compliance. No room for doubt, no room for hesitation.
Zero tolerance. We see that again with another operative, right, sir?
That's right. Sir's interview describes an operation on somewhere called Harbor Island. They were up against civilians, but these civilians were acting as meat shields.
Meat shields.
Yeah, protecting something, some entity. They apparently believed it was the second coming, zealously protecting it.
So some of these entities inspire worship or obsession.
It seems that way, which adds another layer of complexity, doesn't it? Are they all just monsters, or is something else going on?
And what was this entity Sir faced?
It was described as, well, grotesque, blood-red clusters of fleshy material. These clusters would burst open, releasing long, thin worms.
Worms.
And these worms would then merge together, coalesce into this solid mass of writhing flesh, humanoid in shape. And it mimicked them.
Mimic them? How?
The report just says mimicked them. Unsettling. They needed cryo throwers to fight it.
Cryo-thrower, like flamethrowers, but freezing.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Shows the kind of extreme, maybe even futuristic tech the Foundation uses to, well, secure, contain, protect.
Secure, contain, protect. Right. It's chilling. Okay, let's shift focus slightly now. From these organized clandestine operations to more personal encounters, where the everyday world just gets twisted into something monstrous. This first one comes from a woman named Katie Weston. Her account starts with finding a baby, cooing. in your closet.
In the closet. Okay, that's immediately wrong.
Right. And it spirals incredibly fast from there into just pure horror. She talks about her boyfriend, David, finding his body, barely recognizable as human. And something was consuming him. A fully grown adult, naked, covered in blood, eating David's flesh.
Oh, no.
And this thing, it had David's face, and it just said one word. Mama?
Jesus. That's beyond horrifying.
But the aftermath is almost as disturbing in a different way.
How so?
Katie calls 911, but the voice she gets isn't normal. It's robotic.
Yeah.
Gives her instructions. It's like the call was intercepted.
Intercepted by who?
Well, consider what happens next. She has an interview with a man named Wendell.
Wendell. Didn't Horace mention a Wendell? His commander?
The very same name appears in both accounts. Suggests a definite link. This Foundation guy, Wendell, he basically gaslights Katie. Tells her David died in a gas explosion. Makes her sign a statement covering it all up.
So the Foundation isn't just containing these things. They're actively managing the narrative, suppressing witnesses.
Exactly. And Katie's final thought in her account is just chilling. She says, it could be your closet it shows up in next.
Wow. It makes it personal. It means these things aren't just out there. They can be right here. And there are powerful people making sure you never know.
Okay, let's pivot to another personal account. This one starts idyllic, almost cliche. City kid visits his girlfriend Sophie's family farm, rural Iowa.
Sounds like the start of a folk horror story.
Doesn't it? And yeah, it goes there. The farm is off immediately. No cell service. Big sign. Trespassers will be shot. Very welcoming. The family meals taste wrong, bitter and nauseating. The vegetables are weird beets that leak, corn husks like dry skin. Just the description. And no bugs anywhere. On a farm, which is just unnatural.
Deeply unnatural. Farms buzz with insects.
Right. And the cows are weird too. Skeletal, milky white eyes, giving sour milk, which Sophie's dad drinks like it's the best thing ever.
Okay, so the food source is clearly corrupted. What else?
Well, the family claims they're just subsistence farmers, right? Living off the land. But the narrator finds this sack hidden away, full of huge, pure silver coins, like old, unregulated silver, not modern currency.
Silver. Interesting. Where would subsistence farmers get that?
Good question. And then there are old family photos. Everyone looks disturbingly similar, generation after generation. And in one photo, there's this blurry, dark shape peeking out from behind the barn.
Okay, getting creepier.
Then he overhears the parents arguing, whispering about one of them escaping the farm, and Sophie's brother suddenly just gets ravenously hungry. Hungry, so hungry, he keeps saying.
So it sounds like there's a secret, maybe an old pact. The silver, the generational resemblance, the thing escaping. It hints at something ancient, maybe something they're feeding or that's feeding them. These aren't just blessings, are they? There's a price?
A very high price, it turns out. The narrator investigates the barn. He's expecting pigs. It's not pigs, it's pig-like humanoids.
Humanoid?
Yes. And among them, this huge, bulbous, pig-like creature. Spider legs, and many, far, far too many eyes.
Oh, well.
And here's the crucial part. Its belly is torn open and stuffed inside. Silver coins. Those same silver coins.
So the creature, it consumes or stores the silver. Or maybe it produces it. A grotesque source of their wealth.
It's not clear, but it's horrifying. The narrator does the only thing he can think of, sets the barn on fire. As he's running, he looks back, sees the whole Norris family, Sophie, her parents, her brother chasing him, but they're changing. Aging rapidly, dying right in front of him. Sophie looked 100 years old.
So destroying the creature, or maybe the silver, broke the pact. Undid their unnatural lifespan.
Seems like it. Later, a news report says a newly formed sinkhole swallowed the entire farm. Just gone.
Wow. So whatever unnatural blessing they had, it literally consumed them in the end. Tied to the land, tied to that creature.
Exactly, just swallowed whole. Okay, let's shift gears again. From these contained, almost localized horrors, we're heading into the wild. A dangerous expedition deep into the Florida Everglades. This involves a guy named Cole. He's on the run, has a criminal past. He gets recruited by this mysterious figure, Reeves, to retrieve a collector's item.
A collector's item in the Everglades. Sounds suspicious already.
Right. And the team Reeves puts together is eclectic. There's Norris, a one-armed gator trapper, expert apparently, with a custom prosthetic arm, and Fievel, a combat medic whose pistol is engraved with Santa Muerte.
Okay, yeah, definitely not your average camping trip crew.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And the environment itself immediately starts screaming that something is wrong.
How so?
They find this abandoned place, the Port of the Islands Hotel, graffiti everywhere, the Everglades are dead, I was not crazy, Ominous stuff.
Signs that others have seen, whatever it is they're walking into.
Exactly. And the swamp itself is just off. They see centipedes crawling in a perfect circle.
Weird.
They find a gigantic wasp nest with a human skull inside it.
Okay, that's disturbing.
And they get attacked by this alligator, but it's corrupted somehow. Aggressive in an unnatural way.
So the ecosystem itself is warped. It's like the Arkansas woods, but maybe swampier. The natural world is reacting, showing symptoms of this deeper wrongness.
And Cole keeps seeing something else, something personal, this little burned girl.
Burned girl.
Yeah. Only he seems to see her, and each time she appears, she looks worse. More scorched, eyeballs dripping, but she laughs.
A personal haunting tied to his past, maybe.
Oh.
Or something the swamp is conjuring.
It's unclear, but the main mission leads them underground, into this tunnel, just thick with insects. It opens into a huge, ancient cave, and there they find Fievel, the medic.
What happened to him?
He's cocooned, wrapped in this pulpy substance. When they try to free him, his arm just snaps off, reveals maggots thick and wriggling inside.
Oh, God.
And then his eyelid bursts open, and it's not an eye. It's a thick black beetle's pincer-like mouth parts.
So he was infested, consumed from the inside out by insects. This raises a big question about the collector's item, doesn't it? What is this thing they're after? Is it related to these insects?
It seems likely. They finally confront it, this dark figure. It attacks Norris, the trapper, but it fights weirdly. It dissolves into a swarm of insects, then reforms.
Like it is the swarm.
Yeah, it gets Norris, and his body just swells up and bursts, overrun by insects from within.
So this creature, it's like a sentient insect colony, defying biology. How do you even fight that?
Well, Reeves tells Cole to use this specific weapon they brought, an antique sharps rifle. When Cole aims it, the rifle starts to glow with these bizarre-looking glyphs. He fires, hits the creature, destroys it, and inside, where its heart should be, is this crystalline, obsidian black object, the crystal heart.
The collector's item.
Must be. As it burns, it lets out this unholy scream.
So some kind of specialized, maybe even mystical weapon was needed. Suggests this wasn't just biology, but something else.
Definitely seems that way. And the story ends with Cole making a choice. He asks Reeves to give his share of the money, presumably for the heart, to the family of a child who died because of his past crime, back in Jacksonville. Then he turns himself in.
Redemption, then.
Maybe, because as he's being taken away, he sees the burned girl one last time. But now she looks healthy, pristine. Maybe she found peace. Or maybe he did.
An interesting, almost poignant end to such a brutal story.
Yeah. Okay, one last piece. And this one potentially ties a lot of threads together, but from a very different angle. It's a leaked intelligence report, supposedly from China's Ministry of State Security.
Okay, international perspective now.
Right, and it brings us back to Thanatos 01, the entity the Foundation exposed the FBI agents to. The Chinese report calls it SCP-601-1001.
So they're aware of it too. How did they find out?
According to this report, their state hackers were targeting what they thought were CIA servers, but they believe the CIA uses dummy data servers packed with disinformation as bait to trap foreign intel operatives.
A honeypot.
Exactly. But within this supposed disinformation, they found the real files. Files on the Foundation. Files on the Fantasy One program.
And what was their analysis?
They concluded it was lethal software-borne weaponry. The report describes the effect. The target loses control of their computer, sees this black and white image that causes migraines, and then, horrifically, the victim's face and brain literally become pixelated.
Pixelated, like digital.
Yeah. The report quotes a witness. All their partners' facial features were missing and were instead replaced by nothing but flat, pixelated flesh.
That's terrifying.
Right.
And completely different from the squid limbs Horace described. Is it the same entity manifesting differently, or different phenomena entirely?
Good question. The Chinese leadership, according to the report, was skeptical. They suspected it might still be complex disinformation, a red herring planted by the U.S.
Plausible, given the context.
But crucially, they acknowledged it cannot be completely ruled out, especially given, as they put it, the U.S. history of hiding secret weapons programs.
What's fascinating here is how this outside view confirms the clandestine nature of the Foundation. And it frames these anomalies in terms of hybrid warfare, where information itself, or maybe digital entities, become weapons.
It links directly back to the Foundation, to Wendell, managing these incidents, but it raises that huge question, is Thanatos 01, or whatever these things are, real, tangible threats? Or are they elaborate psychological weapons, designed to sow fear, waste resources, or maybe both?
The lines get incredibly blurry, don't they?
They really do. So we've covered a lot of ground today, from that small town nightmare in Arkansas through secret ops, personal horrors, a deadly swamp expedition, and now global cyber warfare concerns. They seem like disparate stories, but there are these threads, these connections, the Foundation, Wendell, recurring anomalies.
That's right. And the biggest common thread, I think, is the secrecy. The extreme lengths gone to conceal these things, contain them, fight them, and the cost, the psychological toll, the physical toll on everyone who brushes up against this hidden reality. These stories aren't just scary, are they? They really make you question what's actually going on beneath the surface. What's the real price of knowing or not knowing?
Exactly. So the final thought for you, listening. In a world where maybe these kinds of things are happening in secret, what else is being hidden? What other truths, what other horrors might be waiting just outside our normal perception? What stands out to you from all this? If you found this deep dive as unsettling and maybe fascinating as we did, please do leave us a review, share it with someone else who likes digging into these mysteries. We genuinely love hearing your thoughts and your theories on these unseen forces. Find us over at Horror Docx. Thanks for listening.